I'm going to do the sound check. And I see Twitch says, hey, we're going live.
Have you seen my cat anywhere?
Your cat? Why would I know where your cat is, David?
Oh, he's been around here somewhere.
Did you look under the table?
I have. I got my dog under the table, so pretty sure the cat's not going to be under the table.
Oh, well, they're not good friends, are they?
Oh, you know, they get along at times.
Hey, I just got a LinkedIn notification that we're going live soon. I guess you better go live soon.
Oh, I see it's 2 minutes after the mark, so somebody's late.
Come on. I'm trying to check confirm our audio is going across the broadcast. But my green bar says it is, so that's probably good enough. All right, I want to look at that. I'm going to be distracted looking at that later then because it's
okay.
I think it sometimes needs to build up a little bit for the buffering gets to where it needs to be. Okay. All right, well, here we go. We're going to go camera on 3, 2, 2.5. Welcome to TDD.Academy. And David, I have a situation here. I am not showing anything on, I don't know where your cat is. If you look at my video, you won't see it. There's a trick there I didn't think about now. Do we really want the cat there this episode? I have to do an adjustment that I didn't think about till now.
Oh, never mind.
Maybe next week. Next week we'll find your cat because there's a step here that had to be done to, well, let's say jigger things a little bit. And maybe it'll come in later as we get going. Well, hey,
it's
David. You want to introduce us?
Yeah. I'm David, and that guy over there is Lancer Kind. Extraordinarily kind to animals, and often lives in the North Pole. I don't know why.
I like it cool, I guess.
Yeah, and we're trying to convert him into a Texan, I hear.
Yeah, and about, well, I'm going to go visit at least, not permanent yet, looking for a landing pad in about 14 days. I'll be in the Houston area.
Houston?
So, yeah. So if we have any viewers that are in the Houston area who want to go say hi and, have a socially distanced beer, we could, things can be arranged. So hit me on Twitter, Lancer Kind on Twitter. Yeah. Well, let me cheers to you too, David.
Awesome. Love to have beers with Lancer Kind. What's going on the Sci-Fi Network these days?
Sci-Fi Network. Well, we have an upcoming show from a NASA JPL Jet Propulsion Lab scientist about the Fermi paradox and some modeling he did about the galaxy. So we're going to talk about why there aren't a lot of civilizations hanging out on our neck of the arm of the galaxy. Because I don't know if you knew this, David, but our neighborhood is kind of the quiet. We're in the suburbs. And
I kind of felt that way.
It's a lot of light years to get to where this model shows the peak civilization period. So he's got a model that shows peak civilization period, which happened. And also we're late, David. It was about 4 billion years ago. So we missed the peak civilization period according to this fellow's models. Doesn't mean there aren't any intelligent neighbors near us, but peak.
But they're old now.
In the past, and closer to about like a quarter away from the center of the galaxy, and we're like way the heck out in the
some arm somewhere.
Yeah.
So
that's on Sci-Fi Thoughts if you're interested in stuff like that.
I am.
Yeah. Well, cool. Thanks for asking, though.
Pick that up.
So shall we?
So gosh, I've got tests running.
Get out of here. You got to prove that to me. You know me.
Okay, there they are. They're up on screen.
They're green. The green little check boxes everywhere. There's one
green
that's disabled, but that's okay. That's probably with
No, that was just my cursor is stopped on that one. See, my they go
Got
with
it.
me.
Got it.
I'll run them again just because, you don't ever trust me.
Yeah, you got to keep it. It's the reputation.
It's
It
the
takes a while.
reputation.
I tell my kids all the time. It takes a while.
To build reputation points. Yeah.
Because right now, kids. Well, I don't know about David, but the kids, their reputation's a little bit different when it comes to homework. So,
Okay.
I just got to see evidence.
must show your work.
Yes.
Excellent. So here's what I want to do tonight is the card deck paradigm and the cards were they're causing me disconsternation because I've got tons and tons of people just calling up wanting new apps, right?
That's right.
Yeah. My phone is ringing literally nonstop.
Yeah.
Literally. Literally.
You got to use the off switch on that iPhone, man.
Oh, there's a switch?
You got to hold it down, though. Got to hold it out until it says power down. Otherwise, it'll keep bothering you.
Okay, I kind of shy away from switches since my father used them a lot. I pulled all the cards out into their own Swift file, and now it's a Swifty cards file. So here it is, the cards file. So I got all these hard-coded cards in here because when I started wanting to refactor this, I thought, well, I know how to get it away from all the logic, and so I can put it in another file, and then maybe if my friend Null Pointer came over, I could work on this.
That's the cat, right? The cat's the one that's missing right now.
He's a missing Null Pointer. Yeah. You ever had that problem before?
Oh, I want them to be missing. I don't want Null Pointer to find me.
If Null Pointer finds you, you'll know it. Yeah. He's got pretty short front claws.
Wow.
So so I want to try and figure out a way that I can inject a whole new set of cards so that, say, I have an app running and the app can have multiple card packs in it so that we can do in-app purchases and that sort of thing. And you can get card pack 1 and card pack 2, card pack 3, whatever. They'd have, classic names like, I don't know, Mary or Jane or something like that. I don't know.
Grapes of Wrath and War and Peace.
Yeah.
So how classic are we going here?
Well, I thought Mary and Jane were pretty classic.
Okay.
But you're not from that neck of the woods, are you?
Oh, hold on a second. I'm seeing something on Twitch I don't like. I've never seen before. Let me double check our stream. I'll make sure the audio is coming out. I'm having trouble, unless you've got it monitored, I'm having trouble seeing.
Yeah, my monitor says, please try again.
What is going on today, folks?
It says
Online.
error 1000, which is a nice round number for an error message. I like nice round numbers. I don't like it when somebody gives me like a -5 error message. That's just right out.
All right, I'm going to YouTube. I don't like it all what I've seen on Twitch. I can't forget.
Yeah, the YouTube. Yeah, I don't know about that Twitch. Maybe your restreaming number's not right.
Hang on a second. I think it's working perfectly on YouTube.
Okay. You want me to give you some advice? Because I know a lot about this stuff.
Oh, there it is. Yes, it's working beautifully on YouTube. So I don't know what's going on with Twitch, and that might not be something we can control, is what I'm wondering.
Well, if it's getting to YouTube, that's 90% of our clientele, right?
At least.
Yeah.
The thousands over there versus the hundreds on
Twitch. Yeah.
Twitch. That's weird. No, I've never seen this happen before. But I think we're gonna let it go, and we can upload later to Twitch if the show never gets straightened out on Twitch. Sound like a plan?
It's a plan.
That's what my producer is recommending, whoever that is.
The producer. Yeah. The guy with the bushy beard and wears the outfit.
The one who keeps putting us to work. He says, "Hey guys, it's time for a show. Go do something."
Yeah, that one. Okay.
Anyways, yep, I've confirmed the YouTubes are super happy. The Twitch is kind of something's going on, and I'm going to let it go. We'll upload you later to Twitch. So sorry, David, I was interrupting you. You were talking about all those calls you're getting, and I'm seeing that. You know, I wonder if they're keeping up at night, because if I see that let card sequence on line 30, I'm seeing they have everybody who calls you needs to supply 52 cards, and I don't know if everybody has 52 cards, because there's probably somebody with like 20 and maybe some with 60. Are they going to be happy with that constraint?
Well, I didn't view it as a constraint necessarily. It was just like the first requirement. And, you know, I wasn't writing future-proof code when I was hacking this out. I mean, it worked pretty good the first time, and it's working pretty good the second time. It's kind of the I've been told that there's a thing called sprint in.
Sprint end.
Not END, but in as in the nth sprint that you're going to do. Yeah.
So this next sprint, where you want to be more flexible, or do you want people to only approach you? Only customers have 52 cards to work out. That's all you're going to deal with.
Well, that would cut down the number of cards. Yeah,
the Heisman.
That would kind of cut down the number of callers to the phone. It's like I could just put a message on the phone. Only 52 cards. Wow. You know.
Yeah, there we are.
But no, let's try something different. How do we get this to be a little bit more flexible?
Oh, wow. So we're going to do some refactoring. We're going to try to change this so that you can have more flexibility on numbers of cards. And also, you know, we got hard-coded data at line 44 onwards. Is this an application, or is this a is this mock data?
This is an application.
Real data?
This is real data, yeah.
44. So we've got real data here too. Showing
Real
it to you
data.
live, folks. The real code behind the scenes of Inspire.
I mean, you wouldn't need to buy the next app. You could just come here on the video and get it all,
those
right?
Things, yeah.
Right there it is. Yeah, you
oh
could
my
just
God,
read
David,
it.
you give all your secrets. Oh, they got all 52 now. It's all live on stream. Shoot. Oh my goodness.
Just ruined my whole revenue stream, hasn't it?
Dude, well, we're gonna have to do something. I guess we got to make it more flexible. All right, so it sounds like David, you know, you need a target reference architecture here. And you're like, no, don't bring that up. Yeah.
I don't want any targets on my back, man.
Yeah, right. Nice. On your back, nice. Yeah. So you want a base set of classes in an independent module, and then you want to build a vertical module for Inspire Me cards. That's 52. And then for all those other people that are calling you, people who want to have like 10 cards, people who have like 60, and the people that are, you know, everything in between, they'll have different things built on top of that. Does that sound like a good target for your reference architecture? Because, you know, if we were there, we don't have to have this conversation. But you're not there. That's the point of having this conversation.
Yeah,
we wouldn't
that's
have
right.
anything to talk about.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's fun to talk with you. So, yeah. I'm going to warn you, though, Lance, because I know what you expect, and I'm a little bit hesitant, vulnerable to put this out there. But
you're vulnerable. That's what it is.
this class has not been tested.
Oh, hang on a second. Better make sure my buttons are tightened up. It's gonna get cold in here. Ooh, the chill winds of untested code, huh?
Yeah.
All right, I think I'm ready.
But really, all it is just this init. You know, it's just a kind of a holder class. It's an init and all these stored properties that are all very valuable, but there's no really behavior in here.
All right. So I have a scary question to ask you, David. So if we're going to do some legacy code refactoring, if we change something, how do we test that we didn't? What's a test we can run so that we know we didn't break it? Because we don't have an automated one, you're saying. So if we have to manually test it or some way, we need a manual or automated test to check if after we're done, if the patient can get off the table.
I don't know how. So we could just, pick card 2 and say, can we find card 2 in the deck?
Oh, you're actually more advanced. I think you're thinking of an automated test. I'm saying like, can we launch the simulator and then observe that it's still the patient can get off the table?
Yeah.
So that's a manual test we can live with. Because sometimes, folks, so with refactoring, a lot of times the code isn't testable for some reason or another. And well, maybe David's got an idea how to make it testable right now. But if you don't have it testable, after you refactor, you have to prove that it still works. Whoa, what do we got here? Agile Self-Assessment Game by Ben Linders. All right. And so if you flick the card, boom, I'd say that it's working. We have 2 cards. Boom. Okay. Well, see, that would be a manual test. And that didn't take too long. Do you know, and it's okay, do you, we have a choice here. Are we going to try to add an automated test for this, or are we going to just use a manual test until we get it refactored?
Yeah, I mean, I need to play with it all the time. So yeah, let's leave the manual testing part in there.
Okay. All right. So there we are. So folks, when you're doing a legacy code refactoring, you need to find a way to test it some way or another. If it takes you, 10 hours to do manual tests, you probably won't like that. You probably ought to invest in automation sooner rather than later, but I think we're okay with this. All right, cool. So class. So we have things we don't like in there, and let's touch on the variable type. So like number sequence, card sequence, and oh yeah, that's it. Is that it? Those two are those the 2 pieces that are?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a very simple, hard-coded store of data. Yeah. So these 2 number sequences, the card sequence and the number sequence, get zipped together. I found this thing really fascinating.
Okay.
I found in the Xcode, the way you can create a dictionary is zip 2 sequences together like a zipper. And you use the method zip. Which I'm like, you just got to use the method zip, right?
Snap.
Yeah.
Is that a method out of cards, or is that a function out of Swift?
Where does this come from?
Oh, that's a good idea.
I don't know.
It looks like publisher.
It's
well, that might be something else.
on a. I don't know
either.
where it comes from. It's in the manual there somewhere. I don't know.
So
It's in Zipland. I mean, it's in
Foundation or
I guess
Swift
Foundation probably.
Could be.
We don't need to know that stuff. We're
That's all
just
right. Yeah, yeah.
programmers. We just hack
It's
stuff
hard.
and it works.
It's above our pay grade, David.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tim Cook's got somebody on that.
So we've identified 2. Yeah, Tim Cook. We've identified 2 variables that we would like to move maybe into init, and then have it pass in this information for us. So we could, for example, we could put in init number sequence. We could pass in number sequence and card sequence. Do you know what instantiates the cards? Do you know who the caller is? Because now we're going to say we're going to move that responsibility up to our caller. That's calling init.
Yeah, that would probably end up needing to be
Yeah, I think so. One of those.
app delegate.
Or if maybe you can use can you do ask for references on card init, and it will point that out for you maybe? You half wrote an init up there. I don't know if you want to leave that there, but anyways.
Yeah, I probably need to get rid of that. To do references?
Callers.
Oh, I've never clicked on that.
Boom.
I'm learning something all the time.
I didn't know it was
All right.
All right, getter.
So all these previews, that's just
That's weird. That must be runtime generated
test.
stuff.
Okay. Test dump. That's lovely.
I remember dump.
There's a whole show about dump.
Yes.
That's not helping us much, is it?
No, I wonder. So maybe we have to do a search. So there's some possibility that the runtime is doing it, but well, what's this? What is a deck? An observable object? And then
So right here
oh,
is
look at that.
right here is cards.
Why didn't it tell us that though? That's weird.
Well, yeah,
Anyways,
it's
there's your pack of cards. So that's
yeah.
the deck observable object, and there's where we can move it to the init. Now, we could do this refactoring. I'm just thinking about it in my head here, and then we're going to end up having application specific code in deck, and I don't think that's what you want either.
No, I don't think so.
So maybe we have to maybe we'll end up having to chain it through here. Maybe I'll have to pass it through a couple middlemen. So, like, for example, who does deck? Or what's the first call into your code? And who's doing it?
I'm trying to, I don't see that thing anymore. So you can't do it on deck. You can do it on init. Is that right? Callers?
Oh, look at that. And it even takes it cards, too.
And it tells you all the previews where it's doing stuff, but I'm really looking for something like one of the views. That's weird. That's not very helpful for something that I thought was going to be really helpful. So I'm trying to remember where I instantiate the deck. I instantiate it all over the place, and then, but in the previews, you have to instantiate it for the simple preview. But then I instantiate it and put it into the environment in one of these things, and I think maybe it's scene delegate, where I create a deck. Here's scene delegate,
All right.
where it creates a deck with cards.
Passes in a cards. Ah, interesting. So that's an empty cards.
And then it puts it in the environment when it calls this content view.
Oh, so did you write scene delegate, or did the tooling build that for you?
The tool wrote all of scene delegate except for this stuff up here that I'm putting in it, and these environment things here that I added on in order to.
How big is scene delegate? Is this all the code on there?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just a bunch of empty methods required. But, yeah.
This might be the right place because it's small, it's very generic, and application agnostic. And maybe, for example, if we go back to our reference architecture, when we make that box where we have all the generic code, that this could be the candidate for, you're going to have scene delegate for each different application. At least we can go with that until we learn more.
Okay.
Yeah. Another trick to do maybe off camera later is to make a new application and just see what the default beginning pieces are. And I expect to see a scene delegate and maybe app delegate, and I don't know.
Yeah. I think the scene delegate is kind of the root of everything now. It used to be app delegate, and then they created a whole nother intermediary layer, and it's called scene delegate now. So I think that's kind of the, see, it says here, it's the hosting controller window root view controller. It's the root of the view controller hierarchy.
Saying the right language. Huh, okay. Let's see here. So I'm drawing up your reference architecture in this heavyweight document here with a marker. So you have,
that's cool.
I don't know what you want to call this, but you have your library, or what do you want to, what's this called? Cards library, or what would you call this generic library?
It's a pack. It's a deck pack. It's packs of deck.
All right, deck pack live or whatever. I'm going to use the word live, but you can. Okay, and then we have something like Inspire Me cards is built on top. Here, I'll show you in a second. And then you're going to have some other thing called, I don't know. Who, do you have, oh, what was the other customer?
Ends is Toolbox. Call it Toolbox.
Toolbox.
It's Agile Coaching Toolbox.
Okay. And so there's your very, you know, I know you had to pay a lot of money for this. You had to send it out to an architect on to get this this reference architecture built, but it's something like that. You have this bottom part, which is what you want to create, and then each of these verticals has something, and that gets the world loaded for its specific application. And I think that's going to be, we'll propose that Scene Delegate is one of those things until we learn more.
Okay.
Cool. All right, well, let's refactor that. So we know Scene Delegate instantiates a deck somewhere in there. Oh, cards. There we are. So let's refactor cards now. So that takes some arguments, and then we'll move that code from cards into Scene Delegate.
All right.
In fact, you could just move them now, maybe. Oh, well, whatever order, it doesn't matter. So you have to figure out how to populate init with some parameters and then move those babies.
Yeah, so that's what I was about to start doing was trying to figure out an init, but I figured you were going to stop me any second and say,
okay.
You know, like you got to write a test for that. Yeah.
The problem is, David, can we
I've got
instantiate cards in a unit test right now, or are we stuck because it's gonna talk to views? I mean, we could try that. Yeah, no, that's probably a good idea. This is a cards, which is a general class. It's not a view. Hell yeah, we could do that. All right, David, stop what you're doing. Let's do that. Great idea.
I'm sorry.
So
my hands were on the keyboard. They just started typing.
Well, here's the key point. So there's two ways to think about this with legacy code refactoring. Is this the right thing to do or not? And if you're not sure, you probably ought to do a different kind of test for it. You should see that your prototype actually can do what you think it will do. But I'm pretty confident that that's the right move. So, because we looked at the code and we saw that Scene Delegate's creating a cards, right? So, so here's the thing, folks. If we start doing test-driven development on a design in cards and it's the wrong design, we have high-quality code that we can't use. So maybe we need to do an intermediate step. All right. Let's do an intermediate step. Let's move something into Scene Delegate. Let's pick one of those. Let's add one parameter. Let's move that code. Let's run this simulator. Let's see if the bloody thing works before we start doing TDD on that. So does that make sense? Just pick one of them. Like the simplest thing, is it card sequence or number sequence? Which one you want to pull out into?
Number sequence would be easier.
And I'm going to say this, David, don't even make a new init. Let's just change the init that's right there. Oh, well, okay. So the impact of this is we'll probably break preview. No matter what, preview's not going to be happy with this because we're going to be, if it is relying on that. So I would say just write in that init, just put in the number sequence like right now. Yeah.
And number sequence is a type of array of strings, I think.
Yeah,
not strings, plural. Okay.
Grab that out of there. And we're going to move that into...
Cut that, I assume you're saying.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And go over to Scene Delegate.
And we know there's another intermediary somewhere. For some reason, Deck also had a cards thing. We might have a compiler. We'll let the compiler tell us where we missed it. So yeah, go ahead, paste it in there.
Paste it in there, and then Deck's. This was cards, so we want to pass in here. I hope I get this right.
Looks good to me. Oh, you have a named variable. That's why. Okay. Okay, property initializers run before self is available. What's this? Can I use instance member? What am I in? Oh, we're in a... Okay, so we are in a class body. We're not in a function. And it's saying, cannot use instance member number sequence because number sequence is part of the class that's being initialized. With a property initializer, property initializers run before self is available. Well, I don't know what that, that's what does not seem very well worded, but okay, so let's see. So we have a static. It's not really declared static though, but I don't know if it has to be or why it has to be. But you have a variable.
We could make it static.
I guess I'm not sure. That error message is not. Yeah, that might make it go away. Did it? It did.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So because it is static data, it's not going to change. It's global.
Okay. So then we come over to deck.
Does it
and
comply?
if I follow this thing through.
All right. So now in deck. So this
I'm
is what kept
getting
me a little confused. Is this is the init. Okay. I think you're done, aren't you? Oh.
I think so.
Yeah. Because
I think
this is just taking all
we
the cards.
come in here and get into this, and we've got a number. Oh, we got to do something with our number sequence, don't we?
Num sequence. You change the name, I think. So go ahead and go up to the variable and call it the same name is what I would suggest. I mean, if you want to change the name after you get this here, you can refactor the name.
Okay.
Cool. Now I think it should compile. All right. Now, incorrect argument must have call numc. Okay, we probably have to update the other one now. Our call site, we changed the name on the call site to. All right. Why is.
I now need a number sequence in this
Okay.
cards.
So, what's going on there? Okay, so why does deck? Okay, deck's instantiating it as well. Why is that? That one's got me a little puzzled.
It may be because I just don't really follow good practice all the time.
Well, maybe. Okay, so you're saying, yeah. We'll think about that. I don't know if you made it happy yet because you have to.
Oh no, I
Deck
don't
needs
think
to
I
get
made it happy yet.
Number sequence
Let me get
too.
my-
So we may
my
have to put
errors
an empty array in it or something until we know if we have to populate it, and then if we have to populate, we have to work some magic out. So why is deck? Okay, hang on a second. Let's ask the question: where is it using pack? Can we figure that out? Like if you put the highlighter on pack, can you make make it highlight all the usages of pack?
Yeah,
I see it down
it's
itself.
inside here.
See, we don't need to instantiate it now because you're already instantiate above. So I think you can. I don't understand. I don't think you need that line of code, to be honest. I don't see because your init says it's getting a cards. And
You're saying I don't need that.
But it does need a self. Okay. So you can have the self there, but you don't need the instant. Okay, you want the variable pack probably because the init is using it, but you don't need to do equals cards. It's just empty because it'll set it when it inits.
It'll set it when it's.
Well, look, because
Okay.
your init cards is doing that.
You're saying I can do a type of cards like that. Is that what you're suggesting?
You got it. It's all. I think it should work because init's gonna set the variable to.
Oh my goodness!
Did it
I went to 12 compile errors.
Angry now.
Um.
All right, so there's some places that it's still using the old school way. Let's go ahead and click on those, see what's going on. All right, there's another one here. So there might be more than one call site that we know of. Okay, what is this? This is an index row view Swift.
This is in a preview where we're having to build up kind of static stuff so we can give it to the preview so the preview will display nice pictures on the screen that
So
we
let me
can check our UI.
I don't know how. Yeah, let's maybe. Yeah, go ahead, click around, see how bad it really is. So that we can fix that one. Let's see what else is. If we fix that, will that solve most of these problems?
I think that's the same problem that's going to be just running throughout all of these.
So for preview purposes.
Oh, I'm going to change this while I'm here.
All right, now for preview, you have a couple choices. So this is really curious because long-term wise, it looks like preview code should go into that. Oh no, where's my reference? Where's our reference architecture? So it seems like you want preview to really be defined up here, so that when you go into the IDE, you can look at Toolbox and you see the preview for Toolbox, or you see the preview for that one. So we know that in the future we should probably move that into the other tier. But for now, I'd say we have a couple choices. We could copy paste that static array initialization into here, or we could just pass in an empty one and come back and do it later.
Okay. Well, let's try I want to see what happens if we do the empty one.
All right.
Because down here we're setting a particular card for this thing just for row index. So it's interesting.
It won't work then. Yeah, the initializer or the previewer will crash because it'll go out of range.
Okay.
All right. Well, you came up with a flaw in that plan. I guess we can copy paste that. Can we? Well, or we can reference it. Oh, that might be another idea too. Is the that code in? I forgot where it is. The scene delegate. Can we reference that?
I don't think so. I don't know how.
What if you did scene delegate dot number sequence in that other code? Can you do that?
I'm willing to give it a try. But
I don't see anything stopping us, honestly. We're in the same package. And so we can stay dry. One more down. Not there. Next one down.
Sorry.
So you can have
Scene.
SECENE. Pretty close. We'll fix that. You're going to have to fix your spelling errors there. So
fix my typo.
Yeah.
The only way I know how to fix this typo.
I'm gonna request remote control. Boom.
You do that, buddy. You do that. You know how I'd fix this thing? I'd come over here to. Now we've got dueling mouses.
We're gonna do something else today too. We're gonna use a pair programming tool today, but we forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh well, next time I guess. Scene. Delegate.
It's nice having a spell checker just built into your system.
Okay.
Number sequence. Number sequence right there.
Sweet. All right, there.
Oh, man, you just taught me something there. Missing, what's it's missing now?
Oh, I don't know. Here, I'll let you try. Maybe I'm going to move this little. This is your preview window. Oh, you got it. Yeah. Missing argument label.
Missing
we got to put the argument label in too. It's Swift code, right? We have to mention. We have to underbar it or something. You can you could underbar it, but we're going to end up needing two of those.
You have to go in the other file to do that.
We do have to declare it as under. Okay.
So what we want to do is copy this because we're going to have about 12 of these to do, right?
I don't know. It depends how smart our compiler is. There's another one.
Oh no! Look at this. We've got previews all over the wazoo.
Struct. All right. Wow, we do. Index view preview. Card view preview. Do you
because
build these
previews?
Oh.
Well, all I really had to do to build the previews is just write this 4 lines of code here. The preview is the bottom part of all the views. I wrote all this. Yeah, and every view has one so that you can really, you're doing graphical user interface design right there in the code by declarative language in the Swift UI code, and you're seeing it live respond to what you're looking at. And so it's pretty easy to write good code. It's also kind of a pain in the ass when you have to refactor sometimes.
Well, the coupling. So that's a coupling problem. There's a lot of coupling here. Every view you create in our reference architecture, we'll either have to couple it back to the application module to load the preview, or we'll have to do something else. And I don't know what that something else is right now, but it's not a terrible, I don't see a giant problem, but yes, we'll have to.
Yeah, we can solve
Maybe
it.
this pattern was perfect. Maybe this is what we do. We just put it in the scene delegate and you ask it for what you need for the preview. That could work.
Okay, we've got to build code now.
Nice. Really? All right, let's see if it works. So this is our manual test. And so folks, we did this because we want to make sure that when we're going to invest time in TDD, that our strategy actually is a working strategy rather than make it very highly testable but not working strategy. All right.
It looks like running code.
Sweet. Nice. It looks like we have a working strategy. All right. I'm pretty confident now that we can just go TDD Workflow, this one and the next one.
All right. So TDD Workflow, this one. What?
Yeah.
Put that in caveman terminology.
We need to create a, whoa, I'm driving here. So,
oh, you're driving. Okay,
yeah,
you drive.
So go to card. We need card test. I think it's cards. Yeah, card.
Yeah.
It's cards and cards test. Where is the test?
So there is no test for this Swift file.
Oh, we're going to make one then. Ta-da!
Yeah, we want a new one.
Yeah.
Are you driving? You want me to drive?
You go ahead. I think you know where things are better than I do.
Okay. I'm going to do the new thing, and then I'm just say test here. And I don't want a UI test because those are hard.
Yeah.
I want a unit test.
I can't find. Hey, folks, if anybody out there is actually building UI tests and able to keep them working for like over a year, let me know because I'm not finding a big club here of people who are happy with XUI for a long-term project. In fact, right now the club size is 0, just to be clear. That's my challenge to you folks. If anybody loves XUI and is sustainably using it over 12 months, I want to hear from you.
Okay, so there you have it. The funny thing is all this stuff comes for free with the template that you get.
I know, so you can delete it.
And when I watch those experts do it, they all delete everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do we want to call this test? Test cards init. We don't need.
Yeah. Init. Good.
And
Are you an underbar or do you camel or smash them together? I'm okay. I'm just asking because I thought you were an underbar.
I think I am an underbar guy. I wear underbars.
Your reference architecture. Oh, it doesn't say that. Maybe we'll have to add that.
We'll have to add that. It's a working document, right? Yeah. Okay. So now, what do we want to do? We want to call cards. So we want to instantiate a card.
Yeah. Card.
And can we pass in this?
You have cards, but you have one card. Oh no, it's cards. I'm sorry. You have a. Okay, got it. Yeah, you can pass in a. You have to make one and then pass it in.
I have to get the.
Since you're testing init, this is your piece that's under test. So you haven't set up yet. You need to set up a. Whoa! I'm getting a call from the outside world. Ooh, let's see who it is.
It sounds like Christmas time.
Hey, baby. This is TDD.Academy. We're live streaming right now. What would you like to call in and tell us? You're going to call in and tell us, give us a tip?
Oh, hi. I'm just telling you, I think Olivia's grades for
Her grades for something. I didn't quite catch that.
You hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Honey, I couldn't hear you.
I can hear you. You can't hear me?
I can hear her.
Okay, she can't.
I can hear you. I'm just saying, I'm taking Lydia's grades for hot pot, and
Oh, hot pot. Dumplings.
For you and the koala dinner.
Okay. Hey, do you have any tips for us on? Do you use XCUI, by the way?
What?
Do you use XCUI? Do you test your mobile apps using XCUI?
What's the FCY?
Oh, okay, I'll take that as a no. Okay, it sounds good. You're consistent. See, hey, we're on our show right now, and I'm just taking this call live on the air. So,
Okay.
got it.
I'm just letting you. I see you later.
All right, love you.
I love you too.
Bye bye. Mwah. All right, there we are.
Smooshy face. If Null Pointer was here, he'd go.
Can swipe at me? Wow, null pointer is such a hard
It's a hard
ass.
cat.
Yeah. All right, cool. So yeah, so to test this, how many cards do we have to pass in? What's the minimum set? Because we don't want to write extra code that we have to maintain in our tests.
1.
1 sounds great.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even say, Lance, we want to support people who have no cards. But if that doesn't exist and you don't care about that call for for 0 cards, then don't write the test for it.
So can I pass in the array of
That's true.
which
It can't be none because that's 1.
I like conundrums.
Oh dear, David. I can see it's going to be years, centuries later when the archaeologists unearth this code. They're going to be like, why did he instantiate an array and call it none?
I wonder if we don't understand the word None. It means 1 with an N in front of it.
Yeah, what's that? Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on. So now how do we confirm it's working? What are we going to assert? Might have to visit that.
Well, I'm trying to get rid of that red bar over there. So
you need to. Oh, it's bad because we haven't done our import test thingy. And I have to look up in another test case. It's okay. You keep going, and then we'll.
yeah, I know what I'm going to one
it
day
is.
I'm going to change the template so that it gets this right, and I don't have
It's
to.
interesting that template doesn't actually put something useful like testable.
Yeah, or yeah, import. We don't know.
Right. You decide.
Yeah. Okay, this is where you were. See, you're always a step ahead of me. You want to know what we're going to assert about this?
Yeah. Cards
Cards
dot. Just type
dot.
cards dot. See what you can discover. What can we learn? Dot. What can we look at? Can we look at? Yeah, keep going. Is that it?
No, that nothing. It's not found in
Those are
anything.
weird. I don't know why it even has an elegant section mark and print the file and function.
You want to know what an
Turn-
elegant section mark is? This is going to blow your mind.
I bet I won't even like it.
Watch this.
Boom! That is just so useful, I say in air quotes. Sarcastic quotes. Wow. I'm glad that features in Xcode. I hope I see a lot of great comments like that.
No, that feature is David's
Oh, I'm
customization.
sorry. I'm insulting the creator, and I didn't know that.
You didn't know that.
I'm gonna get hit now. It's a good thing I'm on Zoom, folks. Otherwise, that bottle, he's gonna break the top of the bottle and go for my throat. I was gonna say Apple did that
Oh.
for everyone. It's like what the hell?
Let's see what else I made. No, let me see. I made some other ones. Oh, did I make the enum or was that already built in? Let's see what enum does. Types enum. I could have done that.
Looks normal.
Yeah, I made that one and it was one of my first ones and I was like proud of myself. I didn't keep going.
Cool.
all right.
All right.
So why
we don't-
isn't...
We don't know how to test this right now. We have to figure that out. We're going to have to go to cards now and go snoop around and come up with a scheme to know when we initialize.
So
what it calls
cards
in the-
end up becoming inside of cards. It ends up having a property called cards, which is a dictionary
on the zip.
of all the cards that it's shuffled together. So
You know what's
we
interesting,
should be
David?
able to do cards.
Is there's-
We should have called that pack.
it's published too, that variable. So
Oh yeah.
but that means it's still, we can't get to it in our test. That's the problem? Like if you do cards, you can't get to that. Is that right?
That's what we just found in test
I
because
don't understand that though.
it wasn't playing, but
Because there's no private in front of it. I think we should be able to do assert equals cards.cards.
yeah, I'm changing its name.
Okay. Yeah, it happens a lot, folks. Sometimes the names seem to make sense for a while, but then
Yeah.
you change your mind. It's Matt at our...
Takes no arguments. Cards takes no arguments.
Really?
Cards takes an argument.
Oh, we have to put number sequence. I don't... Did you have that?
Yeah, I tried that a minute ago and it complained. So cards init takes a number sequence. And over here in cards, it doesn't like my number sequence and my sequence of...
I think it's using... It's not importing the right cards, it smells like. So, like... Oh, no, look at that. There it is. Do you see that? Look at... Oh, stop. Look at line 13. What is that class called?
13, that class is called cards.
And we're in our test. So we just lost the word test on the end. So we're testing ourselves. And then maybe rename that file. However, we created that class didn't work. It didn't. Interesting.
That was a mistake. That was a mistake I made when I named the file. I didn't put the test on the end of it.
Okay, cool.
And, I put an underbar in some of these, so I'm going to just be a little bit more consistent with myself.
Now I think cards...
And now it's happy. God, these computers are so particular.
Yeah, I guess you got to, like, you know, get it all right for some reason. All right, cards. Oh, nice. There, I think that's a good solution.
How's that?
So
unfortunately, this is not going to fail.
That's so, well, we'll see, David. We'll see. Good point. His pointer, David's point is profound. He said, like,
oh, it did fail. It did fail. It failed massively.
I don't think it's compiling. Is that what I'm seeing?
Yeah. Now that we're over in the test side of the framework, it's now decided to compile all those tests.
Oh.
And we've got the same problem in the test that we had a minute ago. So it's...
That one can be empty. Or can it?
Huh?
It's got a bunch of tests. Wow, we already have tests for what you want to do, David. We just got to maintain the test we have. So, yeah. Now, the problem with this one is you need card 1, 2, 3, and 10. So I'm going to suggest you go ahead and copy the... I'm sorry, David. You have to either decide to fix this test right now or go bring over that data, that big block of data, and paste it in here just to get the test happy. I think you should do the second one because I don't know. All right, to properly maintain that, I'm going to suggest that you might end up deleting that test in favor of the one that we're building in the other area, but we'll see. So I don't want to go too far on that one.
Trying to... you're suggesting...
Yeah. Oh, you could reference it. How about you reference it?
Every time I think I understand what you're saying, you come up with a new solution.
Well, you got to type fast.
Okay. Yes, I do.
Or I got to come up with the best answer at the beginning, which I don't do. I'll just tell you that right now.
What do we pay you for?
I always start with second best. I got to save some room for first best.
You're a consultant, man. You got to come up with the right answer right now.
Every time.
All right. So we want to drop into here.
Okay. So this one I'm not saying do that with, because this one's going to be a nice tidy test that's only going to require a tiny bit of data, but I'm talking about that other one, the other tests that are failing.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was in the wrong place.
Because this one's going to need like at least 10 cards. I think, well, let's not do that. Go ahead and reference the one you got out there. So we're increasing our coupling, folks. We're smearing a little tech debt over this test, and we're going to live with it. And we're going to pay attention because, David, if we move, we're going to have to do something else in init too. We're going to have to come back and visit these sites again. So.
We are?
Yeah, because remember, there's 2 things we need to move in init, not just one. And this was just the...
Oh, this was the test to see if the idea was sound.
Well, we did that test and it passed. Now we're getting caught up on our test debt. We're doing some not really TDD because we didn't... build the test first because we weren't even sure if it was valid. So 2, I'm just paying attention to my count here. 3, all right. Oh, hold on here. Okay, hold on. I have a
could go up here and look at
in this one, let's go ahead and use a setup function so we don't have to do this 10 times later. Would that work or not? Oh, that's deck partial mock. Oh, that's complicated. Okay, never mind. I don't think it'll be a lot of value yet. We'll probably come back and yeah, look at this. So okay,
It's
okay,
another
okay, hold on a
partial
second.
mock.
So all right, so let's fix it. We got some code debt here. We're not dry. We have all these instantiation of cards. Can I drive a minute?
Yeah, yeah.
So see if I can actually drive. Man, I wish we had a better pairing tool.
If we had a better pairing tool, you'd drive more, wouldn't you?
I probably would.
I could sit
Drive
back
you
and
crazy is what I would do.
I could sit
baby.
back and drink more beer.
That's true. Okay.
The store quit selling scones.
Because
Don't know why. Just you can't find scones anymore.
it's a COVID thing, maybe. The bakeries are like masking up, and I heard about those folks in Texas, you old crazy people over there who don't believe in viruses. I heard that. Everybody in the country's talking about you, big old Texas. So.
Yeah. And you're going to move down here, and we went no mask.
I'm so looking forward to my kids going to your schools with a bunch of people who don't know how to wear a mask or can't be bothered because, well, we'll wear cowboy boots, but no siree, no masks. Come on, folks. Do you remember the bandits? They all wore masks. That was a cool thing. Come on. Work with it.
You're on to something there, man. You're on to something.
We'll cowboy it up a little bit, and then it'll be okay,
call up
right?
the governor and tell it, yeah, cowboy up a little bit
You
here.
can have a Lone Star mask over there. Then show your Texas pride. Okay, so it's not test. I want to write. Okay, what do I write to do a setup in Xcode? How do I discover that? So if I
Oh, you do
you know,
function. No, you do function. Set up. Oh man, let's make Let's make a new file.
You said it. See it?
Yeah.
You said it.
Okay.
So there's our IntelliSense is telling us, yeah, you're on the right track, buddy. And then I'm going to paste in the code now, but we want deck to be a class variable. And we're going to have to fix. So we're going to spend a little time in here, but it won't be a lot. It's mostly drudge work is what I would call this. So it's going to be a var deck now. Let's see, it's deck. Then that's a type deck. And do I have to set it equal to null, or do I just leave it alone?
I think you can leave it alone. Yeah, I think that's it.
All right, now it's just going to be a bunch of complaining because, well, I just stepped on everybody's idea of deck. And now I'll have to go run through here and make all these nice unit tests happy. Gotta get my notifications out of my way so I can see what's going on in the find. Oh, there it is, deck. All right, so we set up deck. Let's keep going. All right, here's our first one. So we shouldn't need this anymore, right?
Okay. Yep.
And okay, so I'm gonna go use delete. We can use undo if this turns out to be a bad idea for some reason.
Yeah, no problem.
And let's go.
And keep going down.
Yeah. I guess I could look for the let. All right, let me change my find a little bit here. Let deck. Wow.
And we don't need that one.
Yeah.
Delete that line.
Okay,
No, I
now
wish
this is interesting. This is different.
Oh, that's because we didn't replace the thing.
Okay, so I can just delete it and
Yeah.
keep going. And my, it's getting windy over here. Those wind chimes are going.
I think you can delete that one. Delete that one.
Is there a way to select the whole line? I'm probably doing it, I guess.
You know, there is, danged if I know it, I think it's a hard key combination of like 7 keystrokes.
I'll stick with my Apple key shift right arrow then.
Oh, yeah, I think that's it. It's left arrow and then right arrow.
So this one I'm going to leave alone. That's deck partial. Okay, so apparently I got it. And then, oh, we'll have to come back and fix partial though.
All right, get rid of that one.
So before I move on though, do we need to?
What's wrong with partial?
Partial is initializing. We're going to have to come back and paste in the solution here. It's going to be. So for this one, I'm trying not to think hard here. Let me come back to that. I don't want to multitask this yet. Oh, maybe I'm there though. Oh, there was one. Okay, I got a couple here. So deck's already been instantiated. And that one is test dump.
Your favorite.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I got down to 2 now. Oh, looks like we have 3. So deck partial mock is going to use the whole works. I think that's fine, but it doesn't let deck equal. So we need deck to be equal to the partial mock in this. So this is doing the right thing. We want to leave this in here. We're going to overwrite what deck means. Oh, but it is a let. Can a let do that? Apparently it can. I can have a function override the class variable like that. Because it's redeclaring deck. Well, we can fix that by just get rid of the let, and we'll just reuse the same variable, okay?
You're just reusing the one that's declared way up. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And then same with this one. Oh, it even,
Yeah, I think what that would do is make a local copy. You'd have 2 decks then.
I don't
You'd
know.
have to.
That's weird.
Huh?
Oh, I agree with you. I think that's what would happen, but that's what would happen in Java as well. So that's probably reasonable. Okay, for this one, do we want to use the whole thing or not?
Last card, you've got to have a card.
Okay, I have to be careful with this one. So these two had different setups for a reason, I think.
That's random card. You're testing a random card, so you had to have at least card 23.
Oh, look at this, 52. Okay.
And this one you're testing for the last one, so you got to have card 52. So you need to have actual 52 cards, because I think that's how it's gonna.
So this code becomes this code. And this code is random. And
No, it has to have card 23, so you've got to have. Oh,
so
number sequence. Yeah. You've got number sequence of cards, and cards folds them in.
This
yeah,
is
I think that'll work.
Because it's a mock object that's good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. See if it'll compile, and let's hit the run button.
Yeah, how scary, huh? Oh, I hit the run, which probably launched the simulator, actually.
It did, yeah.
So we're going to run the test button then, I think. And all 26. Oh, sure, stop it.
Build failed. Click on the exclamation point up there, the triangle. You can't see where I'm pointing, can you?
Oh.
That's
So it
okay.
says deck tests has no initializer. So, so initializers, you have to always declare initializer? Oh, because we have a variable, maybe.
Maybe.
I think that's probably true. Do you really use underbars in your test class, in your class names?
I don't know. I used them in the class name. Yeah, I used them in the file name, and whether I use them in the, I don't know. You'd have to go to the folder and look, but
Okay.
you can remove it if you want.
I've never done that, so I'm just checking in here.
Go look at the other ones.
See, cards test.
Yeah, I put it in that one.
Oh, wow.
And then
All right. Well, that's a thing.
I'm keeping it. I think the naming consistency is a golden rule, isn't it?
Well, the underbar.
What's
You've
wrong
never
with
used
that?
a class that with an underbar ever in your life, except for David Kuhn's class. Is that correct?
I don't know.
Now that you mentioned it, you're unique. Okay, that's all right. So I'm going to stay consistent with what's in the code base.
Yeah.
It's okay. Okay, so yeah, after this show, there's going to be thousands of people doing this. So it's going to be you're going to create a movement here.
A new trend. Better than camel casing.
Damn it, I lost my track. Okay, so I want to. What am I doing again? Oh, it has no initializer. We have to put an initializer in here. And because we have a variable, and I think it's going to make us do an initializer if we have a variable. Func.
No, you don't need func for an init.
Okay.
It's weird. You don't.
All right.
Yeah.
Really?
You're gonna
No,
do null? Nil?
They don't have that keyword anymore. What is it trying to get me to do? I'm very confused. All right, I'm gonna look at one of the other tests. See what they're. Do they have an init? Oh,
No.
test. Yeah, they do not. So why here? Oh, but it doesn't
Well,
have
they
a
don't have a
variable.
variable.
That's true. And I have a variable, and so I'm having a
But that variable is
not going to be set yet. Seriously? I can't use nil? Yeah, I'm going to swear at it. We call it names. So there's no null, and it's got to be nil. But the nil, I thought the nil keyword was, oh, there it is. It is still there. Okay. Is it going to let me do it? Nil cannot be assigned to type deck unless I make it an optional. Okay, is it really optional? Where are we creating a deck? Oh, here's a deck. Oh, well, we know what we're going to set it to. So if you're going to make me set it, let's set it. That makes sense. All right, I'm in alignment here, Swift. Thank you, compiler, for changing my ways, reforming me a little bit here. Getting that nasty Java out of me. Okay, so for now, that's how it's going to be initialized. And I have a setup. Ooh. Interesting. That is so weird. And then I have a setup that's going to run before. Seriously? David, here's the problem here. I'm doing a setup with a partial mock. Why am I doing that? Did I write that code? I must have. Oh, no. I went too far on this one. All right. I actually do not want to. This setup is not supposed to have a partial mock.
It's just supposed to have a deck.
A deck. And then it's supposed to go to the sequence. Somehow I lost something there. I have overdone it. Got out of control.
You typed too fast. Yeah, you're out of control.
Deck. And then I'm going to call into...
number sequence. You got to name it.
Okay. And that's in, what was that class called? Tool...
Oh, scene delegate. Yeah. Number sequence.
And deck test, is that our new class? The one we just created? Is that not correct, or is this an old one? See, because we have a... Yeah, you're
deck
right.
test is an old one. The class that we created is cards test, and this has all the deck test in it that we had to go fix.
Okay. So this has a few more things to fix according to what I'm seeing here. Ooh, what's going on here? Overriding a declaration requires an override. What is it bothering me with, man? What do you mean overriding? I'm not overriding. I'm doing what you told me to do.
Yeah, this is just
this
weird.
Just hit save, maybe. All right. Well, something suspicious is going on, but I'm going to move on and see what else is going on. So in this setup, I'm creating a... It should be the same as this init. Deck cards, number sequence. Oops, we missed something here. Sequence.
You got to get number spelled right, too.
Oh, man. Need some IntelliHelp here. We'll fix it. No, won't fix it. Sweet. Uh-oh, if I hit enter, that means method. I can't use any of those helps. That wasn't very helpful. Okay, now we have some other some things to maintain. Cause, where's it at? Here it comes. All right, so this one is redoing random first card again. I feel like you wrote more tests later because I don't remember doing these tests.
Yeah, I did. I'm capable of writing tests even without you.
You're writing tests without me. I feel so.
Yeah.
I feel so. I
Well,
don't know. Like
Null Pointer comes around every now and then and whines, and I go write a test.
I'm actually going to remember how to do this now. Except if I hit enter here, that's calling the method. Isn't that what that means? Oh no, it's doing the right thing. Oh, cool. All right, so partial mock, and I guess I'm going to load it with the default. Is that the intent here?
Yeah, I think so. You have to.
First card sets the index internally random. and it's just trying to see if it gets first card. So I need an array of something. It could be an array of 1. So I'm going to say this. You think this is a bad idea?
Because you just want to be different.
Well, I'm just trying to do the minimal thing.
I know you are.
If it's risky, I can go back and do the not minimal thing. What do
We'll
you think?
find out.
All right. Well, the problem is our loop is pretty long right now because we're trying to get it to a runnable state. So it's there. We may be sad later on that. All right. You can't be trying to compile my comments. It must be this. So this one is a shuffle, and it looks like it cares about at least, it's probably pretty, it looks like it might be serious.
Yeah.
See 1?
Well, what it's doing, if you look at that message, it's flaky in that it has a 1 and some random number of somethings.
Oh.
It's a probability test. It's probably going to work. And when it doesn't, it prints a message that says, hey, I'm flaky. Don't worry about me. Run me
That's
again.
funny. All right. All right.
So, see, I've got creative solutions to all your problems.
All right. What am I typing in here? Sequence, number sequence. There it is. Number sequence, and scene delegate dot number sequence. All right. And the next one.
Oh, you might be out of them.
That would be nice. Yeah, this one's a strange setup because this setup is only used a few times, and then there's a completely other setup that's used. It's kind of.
Yeah.
Oh, I can take out some of those then. I thought I was doing the mock setup here, but this is not the mock setup. Okay, let me go back. I'm going to back up and delete that one I just added because this is not necessary. I'm already doing that in the setup.
Yes.
So I get to delete code. That makes me happy.
You can delete that message up there too if you want.
This comment, you mean?
It's so old that I don't remember what it means. But
so folks, when you've been programming for a while, you're going to be more happy deleting code because that means that's code you don't have to go back and fix or fiddle with later.
Yeah.
So it's better to do more with less code or do the same with less code. Okay, this one's still, maybe it needs a recompile. Missing argument parameter. Oh, yeah. I think it's off. So let's do a hit save. And then maybe I need to, I don't know, hit this button and maybe I'll get it.
You probably have to hit one of these things to the green bars to make check marks.
I just
to
ran
make
the
it
simulator again.
recompile the test code is what you want it to do. Yeah, see?
Okay. All right.
That's the test.
We already know this is working. Da-da. And okay, so build for, how do I build for just test? Just go to test, I guess.
Go to the triangle over here and yeah, okay, that works.
The triangle would work too, you're right. That's even better. All right, build fail. Oh, that's weird. It would compile, it doesn't honor our test code. That's interesting, David. So when you build your product for the simulator, it only cares about product code, but if your tests could have all kinds of compile errors and it just ignores them.
Yeah.
Funky.
But I don't like that either. I haven't quite grokked if there's a command line thing to build your test. It's
So it still thinks I'm overriding init. I think what that means, David, is I was confused earlier and I don't actually need an init function, but I can get away with just a setup function. I'm going to say that's the story. Let's test that. Because I'm an XC test and I have a setup. So honor me. Whoops. Let's run it. Yeah, we can stop that instance. That's weird. Oh, when you close it, it still runs in the background.
and
It's still going to complain to me. Why?
failed has no initializer.
It's complaining about
I don't
debt.
get it.
Oh, well, that's true. Okay. All right. So it's saying like, look, bro, I don't care if you have an initializer. You still got to like call setup, and then I got to call
Super init.
Yeah, that's it. Super init. And then I got to go ahead and use an override because apparently there's is that a keyword or an annotation?
It's a keyword.
All right. All right, now everybody should be happy. Build failed. So do I have to?
Non-initialized at super init call.
So
Do you do super init afterwards?
apparently, that's what I'm gonna. That's the story I'm taking away from this. Okay, format this baby. Oops, that's not the format button. Well, anyways, I don't know how to format code in this. Okay.
Hey, it succeeded.
Yay!
Tester running.
Yeah. We gotta.
Boy, that was a long
Well,
refactoring.
Yes. And the wrong guy would. Well, I would say this: if folks, if you have a friend in your team that keeps creating a bunch of code without doing setups to make it centralized, you should have them do the refactoring I just did, because that was some work there. I had to go update all those things, those bloody things.
That was some work. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. So
I'm having a problem though. Something's not running. I don't know. I didn't pay attention closely. Stop test.
Test action is already running.
Build
So,
succeeded. Testing.
Yeah.
And I'm getting a thread bad execution error. I remember having that problem.
It just hates this freaking test.
Why? You think it's this test? Let's do an experiment. All right, if I disable the whole test, this is deck, right? Oh, I can't quite get there.
Yeah. I don't know if you can disable the whole thing. Yeah, yes, you can.
Let's see what happens. Let's do an experiment. Let's see if that bad thread instruction is just in that test. No, it's unhappy. Well, why is it? Oh yeah, I don't know what happened. It's weird.
It's ignored. Yeah, the ignore seems to run it anyway, but then ignore it afterwards.
Oh, the result. Yeah.
Test action's already running.
So that didn't work. Let's turn that off. Enable it. All right, bad thread execution. XC test. I mean, I could do a big comment out and then see if that makes it go away in case. What am I going to learn from that? I'm not sure. I'll just learn for sure if it's in here or not. Yeah, stop. Come on, baby. Test succeeded. Okay, so it does hate that test. So why does it hate that test? That's a good thing to ask. I can't see. How do I select it so I can undisable it?
Damned if I know.
I've never. That's right. I commented out.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So it hates this test. You're right, David. I don't know why. Deck tests has something naughty going on in it. It could be because of this.
Yeah, I mean that's the only. Yeah, but it complains if you don't do it, and it complains if you do.
Let's do this. We'll make it happy by setting it to something in the. I don't know what they call this in Swift, but it used to be called initialization.
Declaration.
Yeah, declaration. That's probably good.
It's much happier.
Did it run my test though?
Mm-hmm.
Test. Deck tests. I don't see.
Click it open.
It did.
Wow. Open the. Yeah.
Well, I don't know why this should make it angry, but it does. Anyways, not gonna solve that mystery today. Okay. Well, the test passed, David. So we had to do.
All right. I have no idea what we were trying to do before.
We just changed our call sites to cards. I think it's cards plural. Yes, and so it uses the. David, you're halfway to your reference architecture. We only have one more step to go. We have to move our other thing. We have to
half
put in
of the cards.
Yeah, you might want to. Yeah, there you are. So we have number sequence in there, but now we have card sequence. And
we
card
wanna-
sequence is going to be awesome because that's going to make us move our data out of here because our data is app specific, but our reference architecture says that our goal, is to get all of the app specific things out of our
You mean when I
deck
when
library
I
pack, deck pack library.
huh? Are you talking to me?
So it says we want to get the other. You can test to drive this one, David.
Oh, you can test drive it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's
you
figure out
want
how to
me
do that. So
Go
card
over here to
sequence.
cards and write a test.
Well, okay, let's think about this. Are we refactoring or are we test driving? That's a good question. Well, we're not adding a new feature. We're moving card sequence. We're rearranging the design. So do we need to write a test first or not? So if we write a test for it, it will force us to add an argument. And when we add the argument to cards, we'll have to move that into our tests, which is okay because we know this strategy works. So we're not going to risk waste any time. Why am I kind of confused about this case? I'm not sure. I know we're going to do a refactoring and it's going to cause a bunch of changes in our code. So David, I'm a little confused on this case. I don't think we have to test drive it unless we want to, and I'm not sure the value. What's the value of test driving? Is there value? The only value we would get is to make sure it works when we run the whole thing together. So I think we can call this a refactoring, but then we know we're going to have to adjust all of our unit tests, and that's okay. So I think it's okay. I think I was having trouble with the frame of whether we're test driving a new feature or if we're refactoring, and I think we're refactoring because we're not adding new features. We're adding flexibility and decoupling, and it's going to cause us to update our tests, but we don't have to test drive it. All right? So I don't feel too naughty saying that.
Man, I would hate to be your therapist.
Oh, you should talk to them, David. Singular? Come on. You gotta have a different therapist, otherwise you can't trust which one of them. You might get bad advice. You have to have a second opinion built in all the time.
You
A third
have
opinion,
this,
a fourth opinion.
Dual redundant systems. If two don't match, then you
People get sick, David. They have vacation and stuff.
Oh wow.
So
Okay.
Okay, yeah. So my conscience is clean. We're still in refactoring land. We can refactor the code to do what you want. So yeah.
Now I just don't know what to do with that new information.
I had to hold true to the principles. This is TDD.Academy after all, and I think we're okay.
I don't know what to do
if
with.
I'm not, folks. But that's we're not adding features here. We're changing design.
Okay. I don't know if I'm okay doing this or not.
Oh, now we have to talk to David. Tell me, David, what's wrong? Why wouldn't you be okay? My shortcuts aren't working on my.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Now you're wondering what's going on.
Yeah. So if I had a cards, see, I think cards and card sequence are different.
Cards and card sequence are different?
Yeah.
Tell me why. Why do you think that's different?
Well,
I mean, they're both things that need to be passed in this object. That's how I look at it.
well, card sequence is a sequence of cards.
Yeah.
And the concept of cards is...
Oh, I think
this is all too self-referential.
It's the naming that's bothering you. That's what's wrong. Okay, so the card sequence is what is that? All right, this is a little bit puzzling. Okay, so we have strings that we passed in to describe the sequence, and then we have the actual sequence.
Yeah.
I would suggest in the future we get rid of our primitive obsession with strings and arrays, and we put that into one object in the future. But I know how you like those primitives, so we can live with that for now, right? That
okay, but you know how long it took me to separate those things so I could use the zip function?
But now the zip function is in the caller now. Well, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't want to go too far on that one. You might be right though.
The zip function's right there.
Yeah, that might be like smoking cigarettes, David. It might not be that good for you. You might feel good for it at the moment, but I don't know. So it's okay. Let's not worry about that now. But yeah, so we need card sequence. So it's the naming right now. Is that the variable naming, the number sequence and the card sequence? So what is it that bothers you about card sequence? Because it looks okay to me.
Okay. I'm confused. And I might be a little punch drunk from all the coding that's going on that I didn't really understand. So I'm going to just delete some empty lines because that makes me feel good.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. No, it does. Seriously. I feel good whenever I delete something. The more I delete and the test still pass, I'm pretty happy.
Okay.
So just so you know, we're going to eventually come back and get all the cards out that are down there too. So go ahead and paste that in. What you have in your copy paste buffer, put that in scene delegate. And then we'll come back here and we'll get the actual data points.
Oh, what a terrible.
It's okay. It'll be upset until we can move the data over.
Well, I want to get it, properly. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
All right, now it's really upset because it can't find any of that stuff.
Yeah.
So
now if you go back to go get the data now, you need all those card data. It's going to be like cards is going to be like it used to be a 200-pound gorilla. Well, I don't know if gorillas are probably 300 pounds. 300-pound gorilla, and now it's going to be a 150-pound welterweight after this.
No, it's going to be a baby.
That's
yeah. It's going to be.
It's a little thin. It's a thin, wiry teenager.
Yeah. Where do I want to put them? Okay. So there's all these things in here that make it hard to see and read. And then we come down here to our scene delegate. Oh, I'm lost.
I think it was above. We might have to move something. Yeah, there it is.
Right.
It probably have to.
Let's see if it'll
Does
build.
The order matter? I don't think the order might matter. I never thought about that.
I don't think order is mattering.
Okay. Can I use card 0 with property initializer, blah, blah, blah. So it's angry about some things. So parameter. Okay, we have our parameters. Okay, cards needs to be updated. So line 31 needs to be updated to use your card sequence. Because we have a number sequence, we have a card sequence. And the number sequence and the card sequence have a coupling.
Okay, yeah.
Sweet. All right. And those are cards? Really? I'm a little puzzled by that. I'm surprised it's not an array.
Yeah, I got some weird naming problems going on that is in my head, and it's not.
Well, yeah. Okay, maybe we should.
Okay. But
well, you're right to be confused because when you look at cards, you see number sequence, number sequence. That's weird. But we have to, come back and revisit that. And card sequence, card sequence. Oh, okay. That's all good. Good. Yep. That looks right.
All right. So property initializer run before self is available. Seems like this kind of error message keeps tagging on to me all the time.
Come on. The wind's getting windy here. Stop that. It's run. Okay, so it's telling you that it can't do this because it needs to be instantiated. There's some ordering problems with this. It's kind of saying, I don't know if it's because of the vars. So if we go look at the example we took it from, can we look at the cards again and see what we took it from for a hint? Because it did it. So okay, so that was in class. Yeah, you had that all declared in class. That huge body of card declarations.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're doing. We're doing the same thing. And then we also refer to it above. I don't see the difference right now. I mean, we could, let me Can I undo a little bit? I'm gonna hit
Sure.
undo. Oops, come back here. Yes, I know. Okay, so we have all these declarations, and they're in the class body. So that's all good. That seems normal. And then in our case, right now, oh, okay. I think I see the problem is, okay, I can redo this. So if we go back to scene delegate, the problem is, so we're declaring this in our initializer, but this thing here, I don't know if it can be happy run inside of the class body. We might have to move this into the init. Oh, but it's talking about this though. It's mad about the array setup. It's not. Why should it be worried about that? In your recollection, this was done this way in cards, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that was copy and paste, man.
Let me. All right. Well, just because.
Now, where was it in cards, though? Was it
down.
in the body, or was it in the
Well, we can go find out, I guess.
initializer?
Let's go find out. Do some
It
undo.
was in the initializer.
Undo, 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 undo. Uh-oh, we're in initializer now. Okay, now we learned something. All right, so I'll redo all that.
Oh man, you're too good.
And here's your idea. You're right on the money. Scene delegate. So yeah, we have to put this in the initializer. Okay.
So go up. You want me to do it, or you
Go
want
ahead.
to do it?
You do it.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna put it up here. I'm gonna go init. I can't spell IN. Why does it come up with an override? That's stupid. I don't want to override.
Well, I think it's going to do that whenever there's a super, right? I mean, that's my hypothesis. I didn't declare the UI responder, but I'm guessing one of those two things has an initial init. You just want, oh, okay. Yeah, I think that'll work. That looks good to me.
Deck.
Super. You probably have to add a super.
I have to move that out. Or no, I don't need a super.
All right, if you say so.
I can take care of my own buildings.
I hope so. UI responder and UI Windows scene delegate. They may have init functions that aren't getting called now. Or they will not have init. They will have init if they have init functions. We will not be calling them. Just FYI. So what you typically do in these cases is you always call super because you don't know that, and since you were told to override, you know that there's one of those two has a init function. I wonder how multiple inheritance works in this case.
Multiple inheritance doesn't work in Swift.
Okay.
I don't think.
Well, then one of those two has has an init that should be supered, which we've done. All right. Oh, we can take out the static now. Oh, if we do this, David, we're going to lose our static reference for number sequence. So pull that back out because our tests are all depending on that. Remember?
No, I don't.
Yeah.
Take what out?
the line 23, put that back in the class body. Don't put that in it. That line 23 declaration.
Yeah. Put it in the class body.
So get it out of the init. That's all. Yeah, because we have tests looking for that now.
Oh, okay.
For better or worse. So yeah, we still have coupling. we shouldn't have, but it's one step at a time. Now what? Unexpected initializer pattern. Did you mean to use question mark? Okay, so deck init is isn't getting. Oh, okay. There's a var on line 37. You don't want that var. You want 17, but you don't want. Yeah, there you are.
Think that's going to make it happier?
I think so. I wonder if it's going to make us call that an optional, but. Okay, what's going on here? Cannot convert value of card to expected argument of cards. All right, so cards, colon, cards, number sequence. And why is it got a red underline under number sequence when it says that? Is that actually pertinent, or is that?
Well, number sequence is up here, and it's a static, and it probably can't be used inside of, can it be used?
I think it can. I don't think there's any problem with that. That's a pretty simple thing.
Okay.
Can I convert the value of card to expected argument type cards? So somewhere we have an argument type called cards. Oh yeah, that's the deck has a card.
That's right here.
So why does it think we have a card though?
Because card sequence is an array of cards. This first thing right here in the error message, that's what a card sequence is.
So look at our cards and see how we declared our init. We may have not declared that right. So we say card sequence is cards, plural. Is that correct, or is it card?
I have no idea. I'm
well, that
guessing
makes everything different. Okay.
Yeah, that's everything different. I think that's what it's complaining and upset about. I don't know what we want.
I think you got it right now. So let's go see. Now that might have to be a. I'm going to ignore that though. That 17 until because maybe 37 is the problem. Static number sequence cannot be used on instance of scene delegate. Now it's talking about a different thing. Okay, now it's static number sequence cannot be used on instance of type scene delegate. Is it because, let me type here, I'm going to drive for a second. Is it this? Is it just because I have to say it differently? Come on here.
So the static member up here, number sequence up here, cannot be used on an instance. That's where it's saying you can't use.
Oh, an instance.
You can't use a static in the instance.
That might be right. I don't see why not, but hey, that's what the compiler's saying. Number.
It's kind of the other way around. You can't use an instance in a static.
Oh, I did the wrong thing. Card sequence. It's card sequence. Yeah, I won't until it won't let me do that. Okay, that makes sense because this is okay. I gotta undo this and read the message a little more carefully again. Scene delegate, not that. Okay, now what's the error message again? Number sequence. It's talking about number sequence. Cannot be used on instance type scene delegate.
Can we put the scene delegate in front of this one?
Yeah, that's I think what needs to be done. All right, let's worth a shot.
And get it to shut up?
Yeah. Okay. Well, now it still really wants to make that an optional. So is that really true? So if I declare a variable, no,
it's not about optional. It's about did you mean equals?
This isn't declared right. We have a deck with a deck. And there's an initializer being called on deck, and I don't think that's what you mean.
Okay.
There. Whoops.
I knew one of us was
gonna... Wait 2 seconds.
Hands are up here, man.
All right. Now is it happy? All right. Self deck not initialized at super call. Self deck.
So, well, a while ago we had to put the super down at the bottom, didn't we?
Yeah, I guess we're learning our lesson that we got to put our supers at the bottom. Okay.
Supers live in the basement.
Yeah, let's see if I can do it here.
Oh, you did something fancy there.
Drag and drop programming, baby. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of some white space there. Okay. Now.
Is it going to build itself for our initializer? I mean our calls. Oh, we're getting closer.
Right. So we got the same thing. Wow, I got a message from OBS. I don't know how our stream's going. Okay. So here's the thing. We haven't made the card sequence accessible outside of scene delegate, because right now it's in the init function. Remember that? So if we need it to be accessible from outside, we have to move it outside of we have to at least declare card sequence outside of there. Yeah, I try to move it out and see if it works. That's what I would do. I think we had to put it in there though, but go ahead and try it again, because maybe there were some other things that were going on. All right. So that's fine. So go ahead and put it back.
Now it needs a static.
Oh.
Wait a minute, it just needs a static.
That's true. All right. My son's going to come to me and say,
think.
Dad, I was watching your live stream today. You know how you always tell me static's a bad thing? What are you doing? But
what are you
I'll
doing,
explain
Dad?
myself. Yeah. Yeah, Minecraft
Explain yourself.
uses a lot of, the Minecraft Java edition has a lot of static functions. It's basically procedural Java. It's not so cool. All right, but this is data. So this is our data. So if that's not going to work, it's okay. I would say you tried the static and it still didn't work. So I would put it back in the, undo it and put it back in the init, and then we'll declare the variable outside. You know what I'm saying? And then, yeah, there you are. Just declare it. We'll get rid of the, yeah. I don't know if you can make it, yeah, try that. I don't know if you can make the declaration static or not, but find out.
Well, it has to be static to be found by the class name, right?
You can't use let because you're not, well, unless you're more well-read than I am on that book, I don't know that you can use let. Right, you can use a var though, for sure.
And then it has to have a type.
Yeah.
So what type is
An array
card
of card.
sequence? An
Just
array of card.
Yeah. And then put a var
Like
in front
that.
of that. And I'm not certain you need the static, to be honest. And I would suggest just getting rid of it and see if that works. Yeah, in fact, I complained about it. Okay, and then we don't want the let on 28. Line 28, there's a let.
28?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I'm starting to catch on. Every little bit helps.
All right, now I think we go back to call sites, updating all those call sites. That's interesting. That'll be interesting in the future to figure out a way to, all right, number one, if we get rid of our primitive session, we will get it back to one object, one parameter, but then you still have these call sites. It'll be interesting to figure out how to centralize that, if it's possible.
All right, did I spell sequence right? I can't spell, and I can't see what's going on here because it keeps moving around on
I
these
just delete up
cards.
to the period, make it.
No, it doesn't.
Well, that's rude.
It's being rude on me.
All
Yeah.
right.
Okay, so did that help? It didn't fail here, though.
Yeah, right. It did.
Yes, it did.
Oh. Oh, shoot, it's not static. Oh, it's got to be static to use it here like that. Because see, you're calling it as a static function, right? You're not making an instance. So I guess we got to go back there and think about that, because you don't have an instance in the at this point. It's playing chess with the Swift.
I'm lost now.
So we want to try to make, it's in scene delegate. Scene delegate. We want that to
This has to be static.
So see what we have to do to make that happen.
I think it's all right. No.
Okay, let's read this thing.
Requires an initializer.
Expression.
So now
what do you mean? Oh, we have to initialize on line.
now
When
we
move
need
it
all
there,
these things.
it won't work. We've done that. Okay, so for whatever reason you can't initialize an array on there, and I don't know why. Or getter setter. So, oh gosh, do we want to do a getter setter? Is that going to help us? I don't think that's going to be really valuable though. So it worked with the string, an array of strings, but it's not working for an array of cards. That is really picky. Let me try something here. I'm going to do a little test.
Just a second.
Oh, go ahead.
I can't believe this isn't working. Because it seems...
Well, I'm suspicious because in
It is
cards,
not.
you had it declared in the init as well. So there's maybe some past learning there that meant that. So what would I try differently? Oh, yeah.
You
Try
think
something.
two guys have done programming for 30 years would understand programming betterness, wouldn't we? Yeah, go ahead.
Well, snap, David. Let's see here. Okay. So we're going to make a card. So it's a card. Right? There's an array of 1. Oh, we have parameters. Here, let me scroll down here and grab one of them. Oh, here's one. So I wonder if it'll work if we have it all on one big fat line, which I don't want to do either, but let's just experiment here. What happens if I do this? Okay. Now, does it care? Let me change this name so it doesn't complain to me about that. And change it here. I'm going to leave that one alone. You're so picky. All right, I'll change it, that one. Okay, now, is the experiment successful or not? Cannot combine card sequence. Okay, fine. One more change. Just temporary things, trying to see if I can get this experiment to work. All right, so what we've learned now is, for whatever reason, you have to put everything together on one line for that initializer to work. I'm not.
Oh,
I don't know
did you
why,
just
but
cut out right
do you
at the
see-
important
Do you
piece
see
of
that it's
information?
working?
I
So we
can't
have
hear you.
What?
Oh, man.
You can't hear me?
Somebody hung up the phone.
I can hear you. Let me chat you up here. Test, test, test. So David can't hear me. Let's see here. Or I'll type in a comment. Wow. Uh-oh. I think Zoom. Let's change to this. So David, you still can't hear me? So my Zoom. Where's my Zoom? Oh, I think I lost David. Houston, we lost David. But I found his cat. Uh-oh. What happened? David sending me a message. Lost signal. Well, let me shift over here a moment. I'm just going to message David. Hey, David, come find me when you can. So, let me see, maybe I have to close the show here. Let's see. Uh-oh. Okay. He says his net's down. So okay. Let me call. Let's call him. We'll turn this into a call-in show for a moment. Oh no! Don't Skype call him. Call him with the phone.
Hi, this is David. Please leave a message.
Hey, David, I'm going to message you back and say, call me, and then we'll close the show over the phone. All right? There he is. Hey, David.
I think Null Pointer ate through my cable.
Get out of here. That cat's just too much trouble.
Yeah.
Hey.
My whole. Yep.
Hey, I think I think we can close the show over the phone. What do you think about that?
I think that's the only way to do it.
So I think we circled our way into a solution for the having it static and then having it initialized with that last line of code that shows if you declare everything in one shot on one line, I think you can keep it static, but you can't have separate variables like the way we had it.
I got to put 50 things on.
Well, it's copy paste. Well, you either copy paste those up there, unless here's another idea, but I like this one less, is you declare all those other things static too. Then you probably can, right?
Oh, okay.
So I guess
them static.
you could pick your medicine because either way, yeah. So I would do a short experiment. We already did the short experiment knowing you could declare. If you copy paste them all onto that it doesn't have to be on one line, but in that one declaration, that'll work. But another experiment you could do is back that out and do it by changing them to static, because that makes sense now that I think about it. If you're going to make the variable array static, then all of the instances in the array also have to be static. Unless they're already static, and then I could see that being a problem. But
no, I'm following you now. Thank you for the logic. Yeah.
So you want to give that a shot, and we'll talk about it next week, or we'll do our usual planning meeting, and see what we're going to talk about in the next show. But I think we're close. I think we mostly got it. I think we got the pattern.
Okay.
He laughs. Okay. Listen, we just did live coding on air for 1 hour. I mean, apparently it's only supposed to take us 15 minutes, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's what the manager said. It's only going to take 15 minutes.
I thought that was a 5-minute change, David. What's going on?
He said when he used to do the same stuff, like 20 years ago, and it only took 15 minutes.
And that was like in assembly, right? So yeah. Okay. So I think that was good. And then if you want to think about the farther future, is we want to break those up into actual Swift modules, and then you'll be fully decoupled, and you could compile the modules independently and all that good stuff.
Oh, that's beyond my little pea brain modules. Okay.
Well, that's probably our next show, if assuming this refactoring goes well. Yeah. And then when the phone rings off the hook, you can accommodate any card size, so it'll be pretty awesome.
Oh, that's going to be helpful when just the ringing. I'll be like, yes, I can do that. Fax me your cards.
You're going to have to hire help and to answer the phone and say, yes, I can do that. Yes, I can do that.
Yeah, fax me your cards, right?
Oh,
no problem.
Yeah, don't forget to get the credit card number, yeah.
Oh, yeah, with your credit card number on the back of a $20 bill.
Okay. All right, any last words you want to leave the audience with?
Oh, thanks a lot for watching.
All right, folks. Awesome. We'll catch up on this. You can see the results of all this later in the next show. All right, Xcoding out, folks.
We're out.